What double standard disgusts you? If you owe a company money, you will be charged interest late fee service interruption almost immediately after the due date. If a company owes you money. Father here. On multiple occasions of taking either of my children to the parents' room to change their nappies whilst out and about, I often receive dirty looks from the mothers and have even been asked to leave once. It's a parent's room, not mother's. I just want to care for my damn children the same as you. I'm a dad of a 3-year-old and it drives me f***ing crazy when people tell me how great it is that I'm babysitting or watching my son for my wife. He's my kid. Dickheads. I'm just as much a parent as my wife is. When people tell you not to be upset because other people have it worse, that's like saying don't be happy. Pay a bill a little late and then they'll cut you off. They have troubles with their product, internet, cable etc. Then they'll ask you to wait for 24-48 hours and solve it after weeks months. Right now in Canada, we're in strict lockdown but a dozen of our politicians have been found vacationing around the globe. In other words, we can't bury grandma at a funeral, but these politicians can go work their tan. Thankfully, many of them have resigned in the last 2 weeks. No limit on sick days policy followed by an annual evaluation where I was told I took the most sick days. Either f***ing dock my pay, take away my vacation days, or change your policy. Don't make employees feel like assholes because of guidelines you laid out for them. Politicians not following their own covered guidelines. It has become rules for thee, but not for me. If you always arrive to work late you're in big trouble. If work never finishes on time, shrug. No big deal. Rich people getting money from the government versus poor people getting money from the government. Banks businesses can immediately withdraw money from your bank account and apply all their disgusting fees. But for banks businesses to give you money, you have to wait 7-10 business days for the funds to appear. As a 17-year-old I am expected to act like an adult but treated like child. The employee should give 2 weeks notice. Anything else is unprofessional. The employer will actively obscure their intentions until the very last minute. I trained my replacement once, who had been introduced to me as my assistant. So obviously I wanted to teach them the job properly. I came into work after my weekend and was called over by my boss and told that my assistant had transitioned into my position and thank you for helping them ease into the role. Edit. I did not realize so many people went through the same thing. Holy crap. Dogs can bite us but we can't bite them. Eater. I know you can bite a dog. Please. My inbox can only handle getting the same message so many times. Edit too sorry I was grumpy this morning. Those romantic comedies with the cliche registered sign beautiful and smart woman married to the dumbest FCK of a guy who is lucky to have her. Swap the roles and see people flip out. Basically being against violence but making comments about how men will get up head in prison. It's disgusting and it's so mainstream. Every cop show makes some comment about prisoner pay being okay. Even shows like SVU where their entire storyline should be about protecting people. Bisexual women are sexualized. Bisexual men are shunned. I f***ing yearn for the day when someone going to a therapist to support your mental health is treated socially how going to the gym is for your physical health. Like just imagine if in a room full of dudes, and a dude, someone said they really made gains in therapy and the homies were supportive. It would legit make the world a better place but somehow taking care of mental health gets looked down on a lot. FCK that. Edit. Holy cow thanks all. Seriously. You matter. Take care of yourself Reddit. Mind and body both. Business should do whatever it takes to get ahead. But if the employee tries to make their life better, or find a new job, they are lazy and ungrateful. Child predators. Both men and women should receive the same charges. I'm a straight male. I went to a gay bar with some gay women and their straight married women friends. One of the straight women was being basically sexually harassed by another gay woman there. To the point of being chased around the table. All the while saying she was married to a guy and she wanted nothing to do with it. The whole bar was laughing. If I did that to a woman in a regular bar, I'd get my ass kicked, thrown out, or arrested. When I leave a job, I'm generally expected to give 2 weeks notice so the company isn't left without essential things being done. When a company decides to let me go though, no warning to start putting in applications or saving more money. You're just gone. Total horse tea. Saying COVID-19 is a hoax but being top of the list for a vaccine. This is one of those sorted by controversial posts. Someone can treat you however they want and nobody says a word. But the minute you say anything back you're the villain. It makes me sick. Baking is for women. I love watching baking shows and seeing the creativity. I was recently inspired to make a father-daughter pact to bake something with my 5-year-old daughter at least once a week. Next weekend, I am teaching her to make a checkerboard pattern cake, teaching myself too. Last weekend, we made homemade bread, and she has been asking for a slice of that bread with every meal until now it is almost gone. A certain boomer rock star did a whole bunch of stuff to a girl aged 13 and yet not only did absolutely zero consequences happen, but people all over the world worship him to this day. Imagine if that had been some everyday bloke with his neighbor's daughter or something. He would have been absolutely crucified for far less. You're going to have to be more specific. A lot of famous rockers had public relationships with very underage girls. MD do have to do 4 years of medical school. 3 years of residency, minimum can vary by speciality. X years of fellowship, varies by speciality. 12. 0 hours minimum not including fellowship which varies. To practice independent. Nurse practitioners complete a 18-24 month program with 500 hours and can practice independently in 28 states. Edit. Wanted to add to my last point, there are many direct entry diploma mills that are allowing nurses to just go through without any nursing experience and jumping to become an NP. This is occurring in the US health system. Edit 2. A circumflex. S. Edit. Not really. I love statistics. I'm a young guy. One of my female co-workers slapped my ass about a month ago. I didn't say anything because I really didn't care too much. But if the roles were reversed I'd be out of here faster than I could say sexual harassment. Edit. Oh, didn't expect to get this much feedback. It's somewhat comforting but also disappointing to find out that this is a more widespread issue. But hey guys. We're men. We take the double standards. And that life throws us and we take the high road anyway with little to no praise. It's what we've done. It's what we do. And it's what we should do. Also thanks for the awards. You guys are way too kind. Cigarette butts are not biodegradable and it's a fire hazard. We have issues with coffee cups, plastic bottles, etc. But we're totally fine with cigarette butts. If you're a smoker, make sure it only hurts you and nobody else. Probably a bit late and will get buried. But the one that probably affects me the most directly is that idea that if I have my kids out with me alone, I'm either some miracle from the heavens doing God's work, a stranger actually said that to me, or hearing the "oh, is it daddy's day to babysit? FCKU Karen, I'm the stay-at-home parent and IT's not babysitting when they're my FCKing kids. MR. Mum came out in 1983 and I still can't get a break about it. Clothes from the women's section fall apart after 6 months. Meanwhile I have a 15-year-old shirt from the men's section that I still wear. Teaching about how bad Hitler and the Holocaust were, while the collective nations of the world do nothing about China and its treatment of Uyghurs while enjoying cheap electronics. Playing video games is a waste of time. Unproductive and you should be ashamed of doing that in your free time if you're older than 18. In fact you're immature if you do. But reading a book, watching TV, Netflix, Going to a bar, club, etc. is completely fine and encouraged for all ages, well except bars and clubs. Why the hell do people despise video games specifically with such a passion? You're playing games when you could be something productive, bullshit. You wouldn't say that to someone doing anything that I specified above during their free time. But you would to someone playing games. Regardless if they actually were productive during the rest of the day or not. Benefiting from somebody performing a service while shitting on individuals who perform said service. Thinking of sex work and minimum wage labor. I was at the park working out a few years ago and on a bench was a couple arguing. A girl proceeds to slap the crap out of her boyfriend. She then goes for another. But the dude blocked her and held her wrist. The girl then burst into tears and questions why he hurt her like that. To myself I was thinking. Wait, you can hit him but when he defends himself it's wrong? Men versus women. Guys is untrustworthy. Skeevy characters around children. There was a guy who posted a while ago who portrayed my point exactly. About his experience being a teacher in infant school or something. Can't remember exactly but the kids were pretty young. He loved being a teacher to help them. Give them a good future. And watching them learn and develop into smart kids. However, there were a couple of occasions he got pulled aside by the head teacher for being inappropriate. One of them being taking a young girl to the classroom nurse's office and giving her some antiseptic cream and plaster for her scrapes. Since she fell over in the playground. Purely because he was a guy he was told parents might feel uncomfortable about that by his own head teacher. Like leaving a crying, bleeding kid in the playground was a more appropriate idea than her own teacher helping. A woman with her kids is taking care, a man with his kids is babysitting. When two girls are kissing it's considered SY. The sexualization of lesbians. How you can't have your opinion but someone else can have theirs. When did it become acceptable to threaten someone with violence or death when a differing opinion came into play? Edit. Damn, I didn't expect this to blow up. Really created some good discussion. Edit 2. Thank you for the award, kind stranger. The idea that men can't be arphead makes me angry. Men's nips aren't censored but for some reason women's nips are. How it's okay for men to pee in the shower. But everyone goes ballistic if a woman craps on the sofa. When a woman has sex with multiple men. She's a SLT. When I do it, it's considered gay. People that make fun of someone for not understanding how computers work. Yet can't find the dipstick in their own car. And vice versa. When a girl is underweight, malnourished, she gets praised for her figure. Republicans on most shitty. Rich politicians, whom inherited their wealth, acting like they earned it with hard work. Everything to do with race, sex and religion. I think that covers it. As somebody from a red county in the middle of a red state. The viewpoint that voting for a Democrat means you support killing babies. People who think COVID is a hoax but then turn around and believe in God. The fact that courts almost always side with women in divorce custody cases. I know this isn't always 100% true. I forgot where I saw it but somewhere some dude suggested anonymous trials. Like where no info about person not relevant to the case is not given so there isn't any bias. Great idea, Imo. The body positivity movement. Fat women are strong, independent, beautiful, and fat men are just fat men. Either have both or nothing. The simplest of them all. If you are a woman and can't do house chores, you are useless and don't fit the idea of women. If you are a man that can do house chores then you are gay. This isn't a manly job. Autistic people, and neurodivergent people in general, can be themselves. Except when it bothers others, even in THW slyest way. Pretty much anything regarding men and women. Women. You can't say you want equality but then treat a man like crap while expecting him to treat you like a princess. Women are capable of sexual assault and men are capable of being victims of assault. And men. You can't expect to be treated with the utmost respect after posting another goddamn girl's boring boys quirky meme. Gun used by dark-skinned people is a felony. When in the hands of the opposite, it's a mental health issue. If I owe a company money, they charge me interest. If a company owes me money, they can pay whenever they want with no interest. Single fathers taking their kids to the park and watching them play while they get stares from every other parent or PPL passing by. She tries to kill me. I hit back. I'm in jail. You're a man. You can't say no to sex. Or you're gay. If you're a man and you want sex, you're disgusting. If she wants sex, she's just frustrated. etc etc. This is an interesting thread because almost all of the grievances have a similar flip sides. To your comments, I think similar complaints from a woman's perspective would be: women are expected to do most of the child rearing and housework regardless of desire and distribution load of work in the household overall. Women complain about abuse or our pay and it's often their fault or they asked for it. A woman is a bad partner if she doesn't put out. If you're a woman and pursue sex, you are a SLT. Maybe the moral of the story here is we should all try to understand each other a bit better, be nicer to each other. When men come out and accuse priests or other old men who abuse them, they aren't interrogated as to why they didn't say it sooner. With the Me Too movement's backlash, we see that women are dismissed and not believed when they talk about their abuse years later. Sylvanus Windrunner can be a genocidal dictator and she will still have a giant fanbase because she's a waifu. People can be so blind for SI characters. Watching people play video games is weird, but watching people commentating on sports normal. I don't know if this is a double standard really. Maybe more so a contradiction. But the view of some people that men shouldn't have a bigger say in what happens to an unborn child if abortion is on the table. Like, I totally get it. It's the woman's body and she's the only one that can walk into the clinic. But if a man doesn't want that baby aborted, it should be totally fine for them to try and convince the woman to keep it, within reason. OFC. Sorry, but I completely disagree. He's not the one having to take on the physical toll of a pregnancy and then a birth. Even if the man %100 wants it and will care for it and the woman doesn't, the woman still has to do all the physically brutal work to get it there. Pedophile teachers. When it's a man, you tend to see male teacher are ped student. And when they're women, it's normally female teacher had sex with student. I despise the downplaying of it when the teacher is a woman. And seeing comments like that kid should be lucky. His teacher is hot disgusts me. Semicolon. Edit. Sorry if thanking for the award sounds dumb repetitive. But thank you everyone for the awards. Not every day I get on Reddit after a few hours to see my point thingies double. The way women body shame men and get away with it. I can't tell you how many times I will see or hear a woman say he probably has a small penis or he has ED or he's a virgin or incel. If a man makes fun of a woman's breast or butt or whatever, he is lambasted. Also, if a woman is a virgin, she's somehow more valuable, but if a man is a virgin, he's a loser outcast. Affirmative action. 36-year-old male teacher molests 15-year-old female student. 36-year-old female teacher seduces 15-year-old male student. Same for rape. Male on female. Instant support and understanding. Female on male. Did I hear a whiny bitch? Men can't be raped. Women can't be sexist. Black people can't be racist. LGBTQ+ people can't be crappy human beings. Gender equality. I'm for it. But society will treat women so much better than a man. And it's sad. For example, one serious case can be sexual harassment rape. If a woman does it to a man, nobody bats an eye. But a man does it to a woman, they'll arrest him in a heartbeat. Put his face all over the news. Registers as a sex offender. All faster than you can say feminism isn't about equality. But wait. What about false pay accusations? I'm pretty sure men don't even bother to falsely accuse women. But women will sure as all hell would do it to men, for whatever reason. And there's already a 98% chance the man's already seen as a sex offender. Probably treated like one. Everyone will believe that type of accusation. But how about when the man is found innocent? The woman can literally admit to falsely accusing the man. Case dismissed. You will never understand what it is like to be a woman. Are you saying my privilege is that I can accuse random men of rape? Wow, what a great and useful perk for the 99% of women who would never consider something so cruel. Genital mutilation. Done to men it's culture and done to women it's a heinous crime. Male breadwinner. Woman gets half. Women breadwinner. Be a man. Saying capitalism is great. But the moment people sell the PS5 with profit they start to cry and get angry. If a woman sleeps with hundreds of men, she's a SLT. But if I do it, I'm gay. Edit. F-king hell guys. Cool it with the awards. Thanks and all though. Probably going to get downvoted for this because race in America is a very touchy subject. Now obviously making terrorist jokes about Muslims or slave jokes about black people is never okay. But somehow it's okay to make school shooter jokes or others about white people. I know we haven't faced the oppression of the other groups. But it still doesn't sit right with me.